In this tutorial, we're going to talk all about breaks, how to create a break template, and then how to easily apply them to shifts that you have on your calendar. You can get to the break template page over on the left-hand side of your screen underneath schedule, and if you hover over configure templates, you'll see an option for break templates. Now for break templates here, it's going to be a position by position function. So you'll see you can load all your different positions here if you'd like. You can load all of them or just one by one. And you can see when you load up a position, what are the specific breaks that are attached to this position. So for instance, these ones are ones that are already made, but if you're ready to create a new one, you just hit the green add new break button on the right-hand side of your screen. For these breaks, you can structure these however you need to for your organization. For instance, in this position, I've went ahead and structured them as a break time for a shift that's 4 hours or less, one that's for shifts that are between 4 and 8 hours, and then one that's a longer than 8-hour shift. So for instance, if I hit the little edit button here, I was able to choose front desk as my position and the name of the break. So in this case, I named it the amount of time that it is, and I set the range. So the range is when this break should be applied. How long is the shift? So anything from 0 hours and 0 minutes to 4 hours and 0 minutes. And if they have this, then they will need to have a 15-minute paid break. And what this means is there's a little box here next that says paid. And what this means is if it is a paid break, you are not expecting the employee to clock out and then clock back in for that shift. And they will be paid for this time. So they won't actually have to clock out and clock back in for their break. It'll just be noted that they will have a 15-minute break and they will be paid for that specific break. Now, if you uncheck this and have it as an unpaid break, and we're actually going to go to another position. We're going to go to, or another break. We're going to go to the 4 to 8 hour shift one. Because if the shift is this length, and you can see 4 hours to 8 hours, then it's going to be a 1 hour unpaid break. So I have it as 60 minutes, and this is unchecked. And what the unchecked means is that this break that they're scheduled for is not going to be paid at this time. Now, at this point, with your time clock, you can tell your staff to either go ahead and clock out the break and then clock back in when they get back, or you can tell them not to clock out, and when you run the reports, this hour-long break can be automatically deducted. So this really is up to you on how you structure this, but if it's an unpaid break, you just check this. Now there is an option for them if you have an unpaid break to waive that break. So if you want to allow them to give them that option of when they're working that shift that they can just waive that break and not actually clock out, you can go ahead and check this box. And in that case, basically in this case, the break is optional and they're able to decide not to take it. If that break is mandatory, you will not want to check this box. So once all these are created and I have my breaks for this position set, I'll go ahead and go over to the calendar now. And I will go and load up the first day of my next week. And this is the schedule that I need to apply breaks for. So right now, I don't have any breaks here in the system at all. If I want to automatically apply the breaks, I can just hit this Manage Breaks button here. And my break action is going to be Create. So we'll be creating new breaks. And you can do this for multiple positions if you'd like. And we'll go ahead and select Front Desk. And you can choose if there's an existing break, go ahead and update these as well. And then what our date range is. So I want to start on Monday the 23rd, and I want to go all the way through Friday the 27th. So once this is done, we can hit Create Breaks, and the system is going ahead and gather the shifts that need the breaks and apply those where they should be. Now that we've applied these breaks, you'll see this little coffee cup next to the different shifts, and this will tell you that there is a break attached to the shift, and if you hover over it, you'll see exactly what type of break it is. Now, if you need to go ahead and want to manually add in breaks, you can do that as well. So if I go to the previous week where I don't have breaks, if I want to go ahead and add a break to this shift, for instance, I'd hit the edit button for the shift, and there's a breaks line here, and I can just choose the edit button, and I can choose which break I want to add in. Well, this is a 4.5 hour shift, so we'll need the 4 to 8 hour shift break to be applied, and then it'll tell you, hey, do you want to go ahead and put it in for 6:45 to 7:45? Yep, that's totally fine. We'll hit save, and that break has now been manually applied. That is how to create break templates and apply them on the calendar. If you have any questions at all, reach out to our support team. You can email us at support@subitup.com or give us a call at 617-401-8733. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much.